I'm going to have to quit my job because I don't have enough money. And I know that sounds insane. Imagine what it feels like to be living that reality. We don't have enough money to stay sheltered, which means we're going to have to live in our car. And unfortunately, I need my car for my job. Us living in it means that I can't use it for work, so I cannot work. And when I tell people this, they're like, well, why don't you just do Uber or DoorDash? Okay, with what gas money? With what insurance money? I've been trying to record this video for like 45 minutes now because I just don't even know what to say at this point. This is why people who work with unhoused people say that we need no barriers to housing. We need housing first because people sometimes are unable to work, literally not able to work if they don't have a place to shelter. We are going to, oh my God, sorry. We are going to lose everything because I don't make enough money to keep us sheltered. Do you know how crazy that is? Doesn't that make you angry?
Hi, welcome back to These African Perspective. Thank you for stopping by. We're going to be checking out videos about the job market. These are just rants. It's more like a therapeutic situation for people. When you are experiencing it, you know how terrible it is. So sometimes you just gotta, vent, let it out, rant about it, and sometimes it's just the best you can do because you can't bottle up this feeling. So for people who are going through situations like this is something that will be relatable and you will understand it. And for those who are not going through this situation, it will help open up your eyes to know that you should actually keep the job you have because it is actually really rough out here. But before we get right into this video, please make sure you click the like button. It helps with the algorithm and I appreciate that so much. Let's get right into this video.
At this point, finding a job is dehumanizing.
Because seriously, let me tell you what just happened to me. I live in South Carolina, the middle of nowhere, okay? In order for me to get a reasonable job, I would need to work from home. Anything else is an hour out, and I'm not in a situation where I could be driving an hour and a half out every day to try to go to another job. So it's more reasonable for me to have a remote job. So I finally get a remote job. And after I get that remote job, I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to be on it. I got everything they want me to do. I'm going to do it. Boom, boom, boom. So I did everything that company literally told me to do, asked me to do. I got past the background check. I got the job offer letter, signed it, did it day one. Any task they had me to do, got it done. If I was missing anything and they said you had a pending task, I did it immediately. I asked them, do they need anything else from me? What else they need? Anything at all, right? Okay, we get all that stuff done before about November 14th, right? The job is supposed to start December 6th. So now after I asked them, was there anything else that I was required to do before we move forward or anything that I need to do that's the next steps or any next steps? I never got any answer back. I never got no email back, no answer back, no nothing. But I did remember that the lady who recruited me said, hey, because the holidays is coming up, people be a little bit laxy daisies. And, as long as we get your information, everything done, then you're good to go. We'll contact you soon, right? With the next steps. And I'm like, okay, I got to remember that the reason why they probably didn't contact me because now like Thanksgiving's coming up. So, I'll let it be. So after Thanksgiving, I was like, okay, I'm going to email them that Monday and see like what's the next steps again. When do I go and get my equipment? Is everything good? Bro, I emailed a lady and she emails me back and she said, oh, I thought you withdrew your application. I said, excuse me? I didn't do any of that. What are we talking about? Yeah, you withdrew your application so the position was given to somebody else. I said, whoa, wait a minute. Wait a minute. What do you mean the position? I didn't withdraw anything, and I did everything I was supposed to do that y'all told me to do. What's happening here? Okay, well, send me who sent you the job offer and any information you have about us and what you did and what you didn't do. Da da da. I said, okay, cool. I got screenshots of everything, boo boo. One thing I'm going to make sure I do, I learned the lesson, is I'm going to get everything in writing and make sure I keep documents of everything when it comes to corporations because they done done me dirty way too many times. After I sent her everything she needed and she saw, she was like, well, I'm so sorry, but that job is now filled and that position is filled. So The only thing I can't even offer you a new job because the next job is until January 17th, and it's too soon for me to even offer you that job. So, there's nothing, I can do. So I'm just sitting here now, baffled, like, y'all hired me. Somebody in the company withdrew my application after I gave y'all all my information, taxes, family, all that, and then gave the position to someone else. And now I'm out of a job with no money. And it's very hard for me to get a job in South Carolina in the middle of nowhere. They really want me to turn into a villain, I swear to God.
You applied for a role and thought, is this actually a competition or is this truly just a formality because they already know who they're going to hire? A couple months ago, I was sitting on a recruitment panel. I was one of the interviewers for a role, and the person who was already doing the role, her contract changed. It went from being a temporary contract to a full-time permanent contract, which means for most large organizations, they have to recruit, like do a full recruitment process if anything in the contract that substantial changes, right? Something like that big of a change requires a recruitment. So we ended up interviewing, I think, 4 or 5 people, and everybody showed up to the interview pristine, like ready, went above and beyond and everything, okay? I love it. But the problem is, and I kept saying this from the very beginning, why are we wasting our time and those people's time as well? Like this right here makes no sense to me whatsoever. I remember asking the hiring manager, you know who you want, we know who you want, so let's cut the crap, let's get straight to the point, right? But they are all required, all hiring managers in that position are required to say, no, we're looking for the best candidate. And let me be honest with you, the best candidate was not the candidate that was already in the role. There was another candidate who was so much better. But because this person was already in the role, this person got the job. It was a shoo-in. And I've been in that position before too, where my job changed, like 30% of my job description changed because I was doing more work than expected. And so naturally the role expanded and they had to formally change my job description. But when 30% of your job description changes in many large organizations, they then have to go back and do recruitment, right? And so I ended up applying for my own job, knowing I have the job in the bag. Like I actually showed up to the interview saying, hey, how's everyone doing? Just having a good a blast with all of the hiring panel. And I knew I had the job, and at the end of the interview, they told me, this is just a formality. We'll let you know in a few days what the outcome is. I knew I had the job. They knew I had the job. But everybody else who was being interviewed didn't know. And I'm going through a similar process right now for another role in that there's already someone doing the role. Something changed slightly in the role. And so now we're having to do another recruitment. And this is a completely different organization this time, okay, by the way? And so all this to say is that if you are job searching and you come across an opportunity where you're like, I want to apply, I think this is a great job, take 5 to 10 minutes to do some research. Figure out if someone in the organization is already doing that role or something similar. Look at the department that the role is being recruited for, right? So if it's like in the marketing department, go and look into the marketing team in that specific division or directorate, and then ask yourself, is someone doing something similar right now? And if they are, send them a LinkedIn message. See if they're actually reapplying for their own role, because then you might not want to waste your time actually going through the process, because I'll be honest with you, the person who's in the role has a job in the bag unless they decline the offer or unless they use that opportunity to look for other jobs, which I've also done before for one of my other roles that was changing and I had to go through the recruitment process again. I went through the process as a formality, and actually somebody reached out to me and asked me, hey, do you think I should apply, or are you applying? And I said to her, hey, I'm actually applying as a formality. I don't want the job. Go ahead and apply. If I get something else, I'm bound to accept that other offer. So send a person a LinkedIn message. All this to say, don't waste your time. Us on the hiring panel, we have to waste our time, okay? It's a formality. For you, you don't gotta waste your time. So go ahead and do the research and make sure that you give yourself the opportunity to be able to dedicate your time to something more meaningful. This is really good. This is a good combination.
All right, based on the kind of day I was having, I got a quick rant, ramble, whatever, and then I'm gonna be done with it. Or maybe not, but I'm gonna be done with it for today. I had ended up on job TikTok, and it's a lot going on. I felt validated in some sense, but also I was just kind of like, we really live in like a dystopian society. Like, it's bad. Validated in a sense where the job market is horrible. It's bad. It's not a coincidence. You put in 150 applications and you ain't get that call back. It's bad. It's really bad. Like, take it from me, somebody who is, I'm at the top of the top in my career field, and I'm applying for jobs. I'm not hearing anything back, anything. Or when I do, it's like months later. Like, you posted a job posting in August and you calling me in November. Bills can't wait on that. So then on top of it being impossible to even hear back from anybody, when you do, they want to put you through 2 or 3 interviews. I'm sorry, when did that become the norm? For a recruiter who knows nothing about the role to reach out to me, now I'm arguing with the recruiter about salary because somebody who don't even do what I do trying to tell me how much I should be able to make in that role. Wrong road. We're done here. Like, why am I doing 2 and 3 round interviews for a job that don't pay above $85,000? You see the resume. You see what I've done. You see what I can do. You see my credentials. How many times I gotta meet with you, the next person, and the next person until we get somewhere? And then just a little bit of self-disclosure. I interviewed with a company called Charlie Health. They're relatively new. I did 3 interviews with these fools. Only for them to then, mind you, they begged me up the whole time, like, yes, okay, we're gonna do this. Reached out to like all five of my references, you know, having them doing 15, 20-minute recommendations for me, referrals for me, and denied. And did I mention he was only paying like 72? Like, is this what we doing now? Is this what we doing? So if you at a job and you hate it and they pay well, stay. I'm telling you, I'm seeing people leave jobs and then a job that they left to go to is even worse than the one they was at, or they get let go. Like, it's something going on. Like, I really think we're in like a recession, depression, and they just won't say the thing because it's going to send people into a panic because we already can't afford fucking groceries or rent. But it is just really bad. And then like the dystopian side of things is you have people who are like, oh, I work this job and it's remote, and I do this job and it's AI and it's so easy. But if you want to know what I'm doing, buy my ebook. And it's like, people need help. And I get it, get your money. But it's like capitalism is literally going to be the fucking death of us. Like, people are looking for jobs, looking for employment, and you're trying to sell an ebook or sell your services. And it's like, half the time they be capped. They be lying. You know what I'm saying? I didn't look into these jobs on my own without even, you know, going through these people because I know how to do these things or whatever. Half the roles they talking about don't even exist on the platform. They don't pay anything. And guess what? You still got to come with some skills. I'm skilled, but when you putting it out there saying that you don't got to come with skills, you're misleading people. All in all, the whole job market thing is just like crazy. And this is coming from somebody who I used to apply for a job today and hear back by tomorrow, latest Friday. You know what I'm saying? And it's Wednesday. And now it's given you lucky to even get a call back or an email back. Like, I'm even fine with an email saying no thank you. Jobs won't even just say anything back, which I think is incredibly just rude. Like, why do you have this phantom job up here? Get rid of this shit. Like, people really are trying to level up or get money. Like, hello? Like, I've been working 2 jobs for the last 4 years, and thank God, you know, because the market is crazy. But, you know, I want one job. I want to be one job shawty so I could really be outside, really be traveling or whatever. But the salary's not hitting on nothing. The benefits are shit. The pay, they not even transparent about that. But then when you find out about it, it's shit. Like I mentioned, 2, 3, 4, 5 interviews. Like, it's just not good. It's really not good. Like, something got to give. But I just wanted to get that off my little chest. Because it's been here, so I needed to get it out.
At this point, finding a job is dehumanizing. I was laid off a year ago in November 2023, and I was lucky enough to find a new job 4 months later. I got my job through a referral. I had a friend that worked at the company that I work at, and saw the position and sent it to me immediately, referred me immediately. and so got the job. She has actually since been laid off from the company, and I'm still there. And just really, I've really just been, through supporting her through her finding a new job, and just watching all these layoff videos and having friends that have been laid off. At this point, finding a new job is literally dehumanizing. There are people on LinkedIn, there are people on the internet who are literally begging. They're begging for a job. They've been laid off for 6 months to a year and a half, and they're not finding anything. People are struggling to pay their bills. People are struggling to provide for their families. And folks, these are white collar jobs. These are people who have college degrees, who have master's degrees. It's those of us who were told that if we went to college and, we got our degrees and we did everything, we would be fine and we would be financially successful, only to come into this post-COVID job market, even during COVID, this post-COVID, during COVID job market that is literally cutting people and treating people as if we are just machines. I have so much empathy for people who are looking for a job right now. And it's also not lost on me that I could, be laid off again, unfortunately. I have friends who've been laid off multiple times. And it just feels inhumane at this point to be looking for a job. So if you are looking for a job right now, I hear you. I see you. I was you. I was you for 4 months, which even thinking about even just being laid off for 4 months, that was a lot shorter than a lot of people are currently experiencing. And I was very lucky. But I hear you. I see you. I value you. Stay in the fight, because it's really ridiculous out there.
You go on the internet these days, majority of the stuff you're going to be seeing is a lot of people telling you different interview tactics and stuff that you need to do, things you need to say for the interviews. And it will be so many tips. When I tell you, you will see a bunch of videos, a bunch of ideas, people telling you that the norms or how you write your resume is actually wrong. Maybe you need to do better. You need to actually tailor your resume to every little job you want to apply to. And when I tell you that people are mass applying for jobs, like you are applying for about let's say you're applying for 200 jobs, 300 jobs in a day. Let's say you fix in to actually apply for like 100. Do you have time to actually go through and start reading? Do you know how nauseous you're going to be feeling to go through all each and every job you're trying to apply for, and then start going to your resume and trying to go and fix it to tailor it down to what you're applying for? Like, it's just so much pain. When I say pain, it's really painful and it's hurtful to be searching for a job right now. Like, it's the most horrible time. And as people are really trying their best, people are doing this, like people are going way beyond, above and beyond for these job applications. But you have seen, I think I shared a video where a guy had to put in his cover letter on a cake, like he had to send in a cake to the company he's applying for. Like, that is the stage we're in. So if you do have a job, you better not quit that job. Like, make sure you've, like, if you even have an offer in the company, it's even scary for you to leave your job that you already have to go for that new offer because you don't even know. They might just let you go in just 1 week or 2 weeks.
I'm venting about the job market. Hey, master's degree, I got it. It took me a year and a half to get this job. We've also been disillusioned to what a salary career looks like, and inflation has ruined getting higher paying jobs. I'm making more money now than I have ever made in my entire life. And when I was making less money, I could actually afford rent, my car, a pet, and actually have like $1,000 left to save over. I have nothing to save now. Rent for a 1 bedroom is basically starting out at 17. Car notes, interest rates are starting out at 5%. Making more money and simultaneously living so terribly. How does that make sense? They told me get a degree, get good grades, life will be paved in stone for you. I graduated top of my class twice. And I'm still fighting. It took me a year and a half to get this job. A year and a half. What's going on? What's happening? And I don't think people actually realize what a salary job is. It's basically hourly. Like a salary job is basically an hourly job, in my opinion. Because it's not like you can be like, oh, hey guys, I'm just taking off today and you get paid for that day. No, you just don't get paid. Shocker, you shouldn't be, but yeah, that's how it works. My first job out of college, I had unlimited PTO. I had work from home, and now I'm here, and I'm like, this is great, but I feel like I'm before, the steps before I even got my first big girl job. And I'm making good money, and I can't afford life. Someone give me a job, like a different one, please. And be gentle on the other people that don't have jobs. It's hard.
So I have the perfect example of why this job market is so fucked up. So I just got off the phone with a recruiter, not for an interview I had, but he was actually giving me feedback on a job I didn't end up getting. However, the feedback he gave me wasn't even very specific towards me. He just pretty much told me that they're going with someone with more experience, someone more senior level, story of my freaking life. But anyways, this is why it's so fucked up, because this job I interviewed for was not a senior level position. It was a revenue operations analyst with the job description saying 1 to 2 years of experience, which I have, plus 7 other years of tech and software sales experience that apparently is not relevant at all. So cool. Well, what's going to happen is they're going to go with a senior level person. The senior level person is going to accept a salary that's probably lower than what they were making before. Also a job title that's not a senior level title that they had before. And then this cycle just continues around and around, where companies are just like fucking us over and screwing us over and pushing people like me out of this job market. And I feel like I'm just graduated from college again, where it's like, okay, like I don't have enough experience apparently, but how do I get experience if I don't have a job?
So if y'all have been following my page for a while, then you know that your girl is unemployed. Yes. So I have been obviously applying to jobs like crazy. Long story short, my dad sent me a job posting this morning. It was for a marketing sales rep role, right? Great, right up my alley. I've been trying to get into marketing. Don't mind doing sales. Cool. So I put the application in this morning, and I get a response from the recruiter within like 2 to 3 hours of submitting the application. I thought that was a green flag. So I'm like, okay, bet, like they really moving on this position. Let me call and see what they're talking about. What's it giving? Do you know that this lady said that the base salary for the role was between $25,000 and $35,000? And for all my non-mathematicians out there, that means that they would pay me a base salary of between $12 and $16 an hour. The amount of money that I could make, including commissions, isn't even what my base salary requirement is, okay? She was telling me that the most I could make my first year is probably between $50,000 and $55,000. And hear me out, I'm not shitting on anybody who is making that pay or less. By no means necessary. But if I'm telling you that's what my base pay requirement is, then baby, what are we doing on the phone? That wasn't even the kicker. The kicker is that it's a 3-round interview process, okay? I don't know why you need somebody that's stellar for $25,000. And in the next interview, they wanted me to bring a presentation to the Zoom call, right? And in the presentation, I was supposed to find a business in my area that I would pitch one of their products to. Hold on, babes. So you mean to tell me that the most y'all gonna pay me salary for this role is $16 an hour? You want me to add to y'all's book of business by finding a local business in my area and how I would pitch your product to it before I get a job offer? No, and no. This is a message and a sign to anyone who's also in the job market right now. While we may be in need of a job, don't be out here taking in any and everything, because absolutely no. Between that experience and my most recent experience where I went through 5 interviews for them to internally hire someone, the job market is completely trash, like garbage right now.
I'm sick of being unemployed. I am sick of being unemployed. There's like days that like, ugh, it just hits you. I'm like talking to my boyfriend and this recruiter called me, right? First of all, super unprofessional. Like, we were supposed to have a call 2 days ago. He was like, okay, I'm gonna call you at this time. Never called me, so I reached out to him. I was like, hey, is everything okay? And he's like, sorry, stomach bug, like whatever, right? At 10 p.m., mind you. It doesn't look like a scam company, by the way. Like, my judgment is very like good, I think. And he calls me, or he emails me at like 10 p.m. be like, sorry, I'm gonna reschedule. I had to reschedule. Call you tomorrow at 2. Next day comes, doesn't fucking come, doesn't call me. And I'm like, what the fuck? This is so unprofessional, whatever. But like, I'm not gonna let that ruin my day. So I go about my day, whatever. I'm just like, you know what? It's not meant for me. Like, there's no need to get stressed about it. He calls me today randomly, without addressing. First of all, he just hops on the call, doesn't tell me that he's calling me. Like, thank God I wasn't doing anything. But we hop on the call and he doesn't say, hey, I'm so sorry, like, I've been, like, you know, letting you hang the past 2 days. Nothing. He's just like, okay, this is just gonna be a straight up call. Like, just ignores the whole process. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, so that's not stressing me out. That's just unprofessional. And I'm the one being recruited and vetted, right? So I don't have, like, I mean, yes, I could judge him, but like, I'm not in the position to be judging people because I'm looking for a job desperately. Oh, why did I do that? And I'm like talking to my boyfriend right now how like I'm stressed I am, and it's just like, it doesn't completely align with me, but I'm so desperate that I'm gonna take the job or the opportunity to be interviewed. And he's just like, oh, this is nothing against my boyfriend, by the way. It just hits you. But like, my boyfriend is just like, oh, well, that really won't work for your schedule, because I'm really looking for something that's hybrid, right? And I'm just like, yeah, but what do you want me to do? I've applied to so many hybrid places, but they haven't called me back. They haven't emailed me back. So like, am I just not supposed to like take this opportunity possibly and just like wait for a hybrid place to just call me back? Anyways, yeah, I've been unemployed for way too long now. I don't even want to talk about it. I'm really lucky that my boyfriend can support me and like we're fine, but like, it's really not fun. And for the people who are just like, I don't know, guys, I don't know.
My video has reached family, friends, coworkers, and it's been kind of weird because I feel as if I've been spending so much time sanitizing the way that I feel and make everything in my life look perfect and put together when it's like, no, job market is tough and it's like super embarrassing. And I had a few friends like point and laugh about my situation, and I kept thinking for so long like, oh, the reason why I haven't found a new role is because I'm an idiot, or maybe it's because I'm not pretty enough or smart enough, or the school that I went to wasn't that good, or all my work experience and my diploma means nothing, when everyone is going to go through life. And I remember like watching my dad go through a bunch of layoffs and the whole interview techie cycle, and it's like, okay, my dad died, he doesn't have that voice anymore, he can't talk about his experience, so the least I can do is share what I'm going through. Honestly, like, you can't prepare for everything. Life is just going to happen, and that sucks, but it's also very comforting to know that everyone is going to go through shit. The more that I show good parts of my life, like when I get a new contract, concerts, vacations, like the more I'm pushing people away and not really giving them the full picture of what has been going on. It's like, no, of course, like I never would have thought that this would have happened to me, and at least other people are going through the same thing. And oh my god, it's just been hard. And like, of course, my ego is in the gutter. Of course, it's super embarrassing, especially when you go to school in such a great place like Boston, where everyone around you just seems like that they're a mini genius and you're struggling to catch up. Like, I didn't think that this is the way that things would have gone, but like, I'm happy to share. And sitting here isolating yourself, digging yourself further into depression because of a job is just the dumbest thing that anyone could fucking do.
I do think, and I don't know how to quantify this just yet, the human interaction that you lose when you lose a job is a big detriment to your like mental health and your brain development and your professional development. And I think people crave a space where they can work and showcase their talents and their skills. And all these people are highly talented, highly skilled people. And so in the channels, I think what I've been figuring out is it's the interaction, it's the way that like we're allowing people to lead calls. So if you're like, I'm a marketing expert, I want to connect with other marketing people, can I lead a call? Sure, lead a call, and you get to like present your skills, you get to like do your public speaking, do whatever to like keep yourself going to find the right thing, if that makes sense. Like it's kind of like social sharing or knowledge sharing. And
yeah, it almost feels like a workplace.
That's what we're treating it like. And so we have 31 volunteers who have officially volunteered for projects.
I don't think people realize how dehumanizing this job market is, especially if you're not even looking for a job right now. I've been employed for 6 months now, and I have applied to so many jobs. I can't even count how many jobs I've applied to by now. I have tried everything, and people are like, oh, did you try this website? Did you try this one? Yes, I have tried everything. I'm not an idiot. I'm literally just begging for a job. I will literally do anything. Either I'm too qualified, or I'm not qualified enough, or I don't hear back. I've applied to so many jobs where I've gone to the final rounds of interviews. I have invested so much time into them, and either I don't get the job or I just get ghosted completely. I've reached out to so many people to get referrals, to share my information. I've networked like crazy. Having to say yourself every single day, many times a day, it's exhausting only to keep hearing no, 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 no. I get it. I feel like at this point, I'm never gonna get a job. Like, I did everything that I was supposed to do. I went to college, I got my degree from a good school. I grinded at my last jobs. I've had so many achievements in my career development. And it's like, why can I still not get a job? It should not have to be this hard. Like, this job market is dehumanizing. It can't just be me. Like, I'm trying to stay hopeful, but like, what am I supposed to do?
You know, back in the day, you used to be able to quit your job, get unemployment for a couple of weeks, take a break, relax, get on Indeed, apply to maybe 4 or 5 jobs, get 3 callbacks, go on a couple of interviews. In 5 days, you got 2 jobs. Nowadays, you quit your job, you better pray to God on your hands and knees that you able to find another one. It is too expensive for you to not have a job. It ain't never been like this. It ain't never been like this. It's people on here that's been applying to jobs for 6 months straight. I'm talking, they putting in 50 applications a day. You know how many applications that is to submit in 1 month if you doing 50 a day? Somebody submitted like 3,000 applications on here. He said he only got 15 callbacks and 3 interviews, and none of them he got the job. It is so hard to get a job nowadays. It's ridiculous. But it's too expensive not to have a job, and unemployment is not hitting like it used to. I'm sorry, but if you don't have a job right now, your only option is to rob, steal, or kill. I'm sorry. It's the government's fault.
It's so hurtful to know that these companies already know they're not gonna hire someone and just keep interviewing people, and it's hurtful because why would you keep doing that? Like, you are really wasting a lot of people's time. I know, like, yeah, if someone is unemployed, of course they have all the time in the world, but still, like, it's so painful for them to use, for you to be making or giving them hope that there's like a possibility that, oh, possible, there's, yeah, it's actually possible for me to get this job. Maybe I could get it. And then you get people, when you're interviewing, they could be nice to you, telling you every nice words, like, this job, like, we're gonna call you back for sure. Like, they're giving you all this type of hints that you're gonna be the one, and then all of a sudden you just get an email telling you about how they moved on with other candidates that are better suited for that role. Being unemployed for long, it can be really, really rough on a person, because like she said, this whole situation will actually make you feel like you have so much difficulty with actually going on interviews, because you start having all this like panic, you'll be feeling very nervous for every interview. But if you're used to like being in the corporate world, you're used to like all the vocabularies and the words, how you interact on a daily with people, and then being stuck in the maybe at home, struggling, trying to apply for jobs, do stuff, go do other things like side hustles, and then all of a sudden you're still trying to like apply for that corporate work, and you have an interview, you'll be really panicking for it. Like you'll be so worried. And sometimes you need a refresher because your brain could actually forget a lot of stuff. Not that like you totally not remember everything, but you could you just, you would not just be as fresh as someone who literally got a job like right after. It can get to that point. You've made it to the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching this video to the very end. Please make sure you click the like button. It helps with the algorithm and I appreciate that so much. And subscribe to the channel if you're new here and you're watching me for the very first time and you would love to see more of my content. Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think about this video. I will see you on the next one. Bye.